So if the terminal side has to lie in or between pi over 2 and pi, which quadrant will that fall in? Pi over 2 to pi is quadrant 2, right? So it's going to lie in this quadrant. So when we calculate inverse tan again is going to give us an angle in quadrants 1 or 4. So we're going to have to interpret that information to find the actual angle. Well, so here's our actual angle. We're looking for this full rotation right here, or this rotation from the initial side to this terminal side. All right, if we were to calculate this theta measure given the tangent ratio of -7/4, we're going to take the inverse tan of that ratio. And since we're looking in terms of pi, we're looking in radian mode, so we're going to turn our calculator to radian mode. And then I'm going to perform this calculation. So the inverse tan of -7/4, I'm going to put it in decimal form. I get -1.05 approximately radians. And now, think about where that is. So is the tangent that's a negative value going to be in quadrant 1 or quadrant 4? So this is going to be in quadrant 4, right? Technically what we're looking for, this angle right here is -1.05 radians. Okay, so it's 1.05 radians in the negative direction. And so what that means is when we look at this, the reference triangle formed by our original angle. So again, this original angle is theta. This measure right here is a reference angle. Okay, so if we draw this line straight down, our reference angle is this angle formed at the origin. And so when we're looking at that, this angle is 1.05 degrees, or I'm sorry, 1.05 radians. Okay, and so that means that this rotation is 1.05 radians up from pi. So the way that we can calculate the theta measure is if we take this whole rotation to pi, and then we go back, so if we move all the way to pi and then come back up, this 1.05 radians, we'll have our calculated value. So here, if we take pi minus this 1.05, so I'm just going to put plus the negative, that's going to give us our theta measure, which is 2.09 radians. And so that would be your measure.